The research station on Kepler 442b was never supposed to be a permanent home. But Kate had been there for 3 years now, studying the planet's unique ecosystem. The crystalline forests hummed with bioluminescent life, and the twin moons cast dancing shadows across the alien landscape. She found Jackson on a routine survey mission, collapsed near the edge of the Vermilion Canyons. His environmental suit was torn, exposing him to the planet's thin atmosphere. Blood seeped from a gash across his ribs where something had attacked him. "Stay with me," Kate whispered, dragging him toward her rover. He was barely conscious, his face pale beneath the dust and grime. "You're going to make it." But she knew the truth. The nearest medical facility was 6 hours away, and he didn't have 6 hours. His breathing was shallow, his pulse weak. Kate worked frantically, applying emergency sealant to his suit, injecting him with stabilizers from her medical kit. Nothing was enough. That's when she heard it, a high-pitched keening from the rocks nearby. Kate's head snapped up. Nestled between two boulders was a creature she'd never seen before. It was roughly the size of a house cat, with iridescent scales that shifted through colors she couldn't name. But what caught her attention were the wings, delicate, membranous things that seemed too fragile for flight, folded against its serpentine body. The creature was injured too. One wing bent at an unnatural angle, and it chirped desperately, unable to move. Kate looked between Jackson and the creature. She couldn't save both. Every second counted. But something in those alien eyes, a glimmer of intelligence, of understanding, made her move. She scooped up the hatchling gently, feeling it tremble in her hands, and brought it to where Jackson lay dying. "I don't know if you understand," she said to the creature, her voice breaking, "but we're all in trouble here." The hatchling's eyes fixed on Jackson. It crawled across his chest, settling over the wound. Then something extraordinary happened. The creature began to glow. Not the soft bioluminescence Kate had seen in other native species, but a brilliant, pulsing light that seemed to come from within. The air around them grew warm, charged with energy. Kate watched in amazement as the glow intensified, spreading across Jackson's body like liquid fire. His breathing steadied. The color returned to his face. The gash across his ribs began to close, tissue knitting together with impossible speed. Kate's hands shook as she checked his vital signs. His pulse was strong, steady. The internal bleeding had stopped. He was stabilizing. The hatchling's glow faded, and it collapsed, exhausted. Kate caught it before it could fall, cradling both the creature and Jackson's hand in hers. "Thank you," she whispered. 3 months later, Kate stood in the observation dome, watching Jackson play with the creature they'd named Zephyr. The hatchling had grown, now the size of a large dog, with wings that could span 3 meters when fully extended. Kate had splinted the broken wing, and with time and care it had healed perfectly. But something else had happened during that healing. A bond had formed between Jackson and Zephyr, something deeper than simple gratitude. The creature followed him everywhere, protective and alert. It had learned to understand human gestures, even some basic words. "You know what the xenobiologists are saying?" Jackson asked, walking over to Kate with Zephyr perched on his shoulder, wings tucked close. "They think Zephyr's species has some kind of empathic ability. When you brought us together that day dying, Zephyr felt it, felt the desperation, the will to survive." Kate smiled. "That's why he saved you?" "That's why we saved each other," Jackson corrected. He reached up to scratch under Zephyr's chin, and the creature rumbled with contentment. "The xenobiologist ran tests. My blood chemistry changed after the healing. Zephyr's did too. We're connected now on a molecular level." Kate had read the reports. It was unprecedented, a human and alien life form developing a symbiotic relationship. Jackson's immune system had strengthened, his reflexes sharpened. In return, Zephyr seemed to draw something from Jackson too. Perhaps consciousness, perhaps purpose. "The council wants to study you both," Kate said quietly. Jackson's expression darkened. "Let them try." As if sensing his mood, Zephyr spread his wings, a subtle display of protection. The scales rippled with warning colors. "I saved his life, Kate, and he saved mine. That means something. On Earth, we'd call it loyalty. Here among the stars, maybe it's something more." Jackson turned to face her fully. "You gave us both a chance when you should have chosen. You refused to accept that you couldn't save everyone. That's the most human thing I've ever seen." Kate felt tears prick her eyes. "I just did what felt right." "Exactly. Jackson smiled. Humans don't give up. Even when logic says we should, when the odds are impossible, we find a way. We improvise, we adapt, we refuse to accept defeat. That's what you taught Zephyr that day. That's what makes us special in this galaxy. Zephyr launched from Jackson's shoulder, soaring through the dome in graceful loops. His wings caught the light from Kepler 442b's sun, creating rainbows across the walls. He's beautiful, Kate breathed. He's family, Jackson said simply. Outside, the crystalline forest hummed their eternal song. Somewhere in the vastness of space, other species would wonder about humanity, about their stubbornness, their compassion, their refusal to choose between impossible options. Kate watched Jackson and Zephyr together, human and alien, savior and saved, bound by a moment of desperation and choice, and she understood. This was why humans ventured into the stars. Not to conquer, but to connect. Not to dominate, but to discover that even in the darkest moments, hope could take wing. Zephyr landed beside them, nuzzling against Kate's hand in thanks. She had saved them both. And in doing so had proven what humanity had always known, that compassion was the greatest strength of all.